Welcome to Practical Access. I am Lisa Dieker.
And I'm Rebecca Hines. And yes, we are going a little stir crazy ourselves, only a few episodes in. Lisa, today I was talking to a colleague who was trying to scramble and decide how they were going to deliver their online instruction everybody's working on. And she has a significant number of kids who are really high need kids. And we were talking about distributing learning via probably things like Zoom, like a lot of people are, Google or other methods. And she was mentioning already, predicting this idea that, well, we need, not everybody's on the same level.
Yeah.
How are we going to, teach kids all on different levels, even if they're in the same grade? And it really got me back to my roots of thinking about differentiation a little bit differently. So I advised her, you know what? Have your best speaker give their best lesson and then have breakout groups to go back and discuss.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where we can do some real differentiation. But it's time, I think, to go ahead and give all the kids access to our very best content. And then let's think about differentiation a little bit differently in this case. I think that that's one of the things that's an opportunity here, because no one knows what kids are going to gain no matter what methods we use.
Right, absolutely.
So access.
Yeah, it's funny because I had almost the same question from a family member. 2 teachers, 25 kids, many don't communicate, worried about families, having those kids at home, completely respect that's a huge challenge we need to be aware of. But she has 2 teachers and 6 adults, and 2 of those adults are one-on-one. And so, was asking, I said, well, I would go back to our podcast on co-teaching and be really clear that those adults that are one-on-one know exactly what they're supposed to be doing with those kids online. What's those IEP goals? What are they working on? Is it basic communication? Do they know the accessibility features that are available? I think it's time to double down, as you would say, on those accessibility features and make sure that we understand those. And again, is that training we need to give to our paraprofessionals? I think absolutely priority, because many of them are to be the ones to do that fine tuning. The teacher does the big picture, but they're hanging out with that kid at a smaller level. And again, I think the last thing I would just mention there is this whole comment you made about process. Those kids need structure. And so making sure we lead with structure and lead with common faces and lead with accessibility, I think is the best thing we can be doing right now to get us started.
Absolutely. If I'm a paraprofessional right now, I'm listening to whatever is being broadcast, and I'm writing down a few key words. I am trying to use those words with the person that I'm teaching. Yeah. And even if this is someone who has very significant needs, I'm still going to help support him or her get as much of that standards-based education as possible.
Yeah.
As a family member of someone with significant needs, I can tell you my nephew would not necessarily be able to tell you anything that he learned from a lecture. But remotely, he's also not going to be able to do much else to interact with you either. So why not give him access and then see if we can get him to free recall even a key word for him? That would be success.
Yeah, and one that I love is this app called AfDexMe. It's a simple little app that you could actually put onto the device, and it will tell you if the student is smiling, frowning, joy, happy, and looking at kids' emotions might be a great, simple tool to add. Again, talking with parents to do that so that they know, but it actually tracks your facial muscles. That would be a great skill for your students to practice. If you feel happy, are you smiling? Especially
you
some of our kiddos.
At that, because that's a really good tool, Lisa.
Well, but I'm thinking of some of my friends on the spectrum. When they're happy, one of them said, "Look, I can't make that app show you that I'm happy."
Can we put that on teachers right now?
Well, let's not do that, or on us. I think we're sitting here going, if I have to look at a computer screen one more time with a good-looking face on it. So I think families are going to feel the same way. Yeah, and you had some other ideas, I think.
Well, I just encourage everybody to continue looking for very specified tools to meet very specific needs.
Yeah.
An example is Ira. I don't know, Lisa, if you're familiar, but it's a great service
Amazing.
for persons
But it costs.
who are blind.
Yeah.
I think that they are offering some promotions right now, so it's
fabulous.
a good chance to try tools like that.
Yes.
I would be looking at some very disability specific tools and trying to find out who's offering special promotions so that my child or my student could access something he or she may not usually have access to.
So tell me how Ira works and how you'd use it in the home.
Well, in the home, it's used essentially as a video guide, where a real person's on the other end seeing for you, essentially. And so they think that they are looking at how they can do this even with somebody looking at your computer screen for you and talking you through it and describing what they're seeing for you, because not everything's going to be accessible for somebody who is blind or visually impaired right now. Just making that accessible in a very fast-paced, contemporary, on-the-spot way.
Yeah, so you wear glasses. There's a little camera, I think, and it's kind of like OnStar. You call in, and that human then can see what you're seeing. Yeah, that would be a great tool, especially like if you're going to use a lot of graphs. Like my niece teaches biology, so if she's going to be putting up biology images the kid might not be able to access, that's a quick way to get access to. And do remember, if you are putting up images, try to make sure you do use that alt text in PowerPoint so that kids who can't see or can't learn through traditional visual, it's good for everybody. It's not just good for the kid with disability. We always say that, turn on all technology. Well, my last go-to is this website, and it's called Making Learning Accessible for All. And I like it because it's got really basic tools that you can use in Google, which many schools use, and on your Chromebook. So, and also you can share. And I think that's what we're really, really promoting right now, is this is uncharted territory for the whole world. So if you find something that's working for your kiddo, share it, because what they've done out here is share different tools and descriptions that people have said are good already to use. And there's about 35 listed. Let's make that 350 listed. You know, if you find something as simple as, you know, having the kid have a stress ball while they're on the computer makes them pay more attention and they smile more. Let's make sure people learn those really basic things from each other and share. One last little resource I'll share, it's called Tag Packer. And you're welcome to go out and Google Tag Packer. My name is Lisa, the last name Dieker, blame my husband, Dieker. If you Google that, you'll find a website with about 520 bookmark sites. And I've tried to add a whole bunch on this outbreak and how to teach online. And that site that I just mentioned is bookmarked out there.
I think with so many resources right now, it's going to feel overwhelming.
Yes.
So going to a trusted source, of course, is the key. And I would say, make yourself an expert at only a couple of those.
That's it. Pick two. Panera, pick two.
And be great at two things, because if everybody brings two, then we've got plenty.
Right. And your kids don't need to learn 800 platforms. They just need two. Two that work for you will work for them.